Chris Bark here, and today is the second video in regards to who your best customers are and how to find them. In the last video, I shared with you the real basic ways to see, to pull out the data to work out who your best customers are. Excuse me. In this video, it's going to be a little bit more advanced. So we're going to be, what we're going to do is we're going to tie multiple things together to try and work out actually who your best customers are. So the way we're going to do that is in exactly the same way we did in the first time. So we're going to go into our marketing campaign within our system, and we're going to create some customer lists. Now, this particular time, we're going to create lists that link together. So what we're going to do is we're going to say the first list we'll create is anyone who spent over £100 and visited over 10 times. So spent over £100 and visited more than, if I can type again, 10 times. Sorry, more than 10 times. Okay. Now, the point of this is if you start layering different criteria on top of each other, you're going to get a much more clearer view of who your best customers actually are. If you just look at total spend, it gives you one opinion or one view of who your best customers are. But if you start putting, say, your best customers and the amount of visits together, you put two criteria together and it brings out who your best customers actually are, because you're linking the two different things together. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to go into we're going to like edit our list of customers. So we're going to say again, any customer who in the last 10 years has spent over £100. But where this differs, so if you see here right now, if we do that, we've got a list of, well, it does the calculation, a list of 1,539 customers. But now what we're going to do is we're going to, so that's the same list we had in the first video. So if you haven't watched the first video, go back and watch that. But now what we're going to do is we're going to start layering things on top of it. So we're going to say and then we're going to say number of visits in the last 10 years is over 10. So what we'll do, basically what we're doing there is we've put the two together and we said anyone who spent over £100, so it's not just in one transaction, and has visited the 10 times, if that makes sense. So you're putting them both together, and once you do that, you put them both together like that, and it goes from 1,539 down to 1,127 customers. Basically the advantage of this is it eliminates people who have only who spent £100 in one transaction and haven't been back multiple times. So by putting them both together, you get a definite, more rounded view of who your best customers are. So that's one way to do it. You could do back into marketing campaign. We could create another list. So spent over 100 again, and average spend per visit is average spend is 20. Sorry, we do over 20 actually in that particular case. So in this scenario now, we've got the same customer list as we had before. So we're going to say any customer who in the last 10 years has spent over £100. But what we're going to do now is and then we're going to add a customer statistic of average spend in the last 10 years of over £20 per go. So again, if you think that your average spend is the reason, it is one of the main criteria for who your best customers are, by doing this, we're going to go from 1,539 customers to this time 424 customers. So we've only got 424 customers who spent over £100 and with an average spend of over £20 again. The great thing about layering them on top of each other is, as I say, you get a much more accurate view of who your actual best customers are. Now, if you wanted, just so you do know, you could add customer properties like have got an email address, so we could send them an email, or has got a mobile number, so we could send them a mobile, or has got a birthday coming up, or if you've got multiple stores, which store they were created in. So basically it gives you the ability here to layer things on top of each other. Now, the more you layer on top of each other, the smaller your list will become. But the smaller your list will become, in that scenario, the actually better qualified they are as a group of customers. So obviously a customer who fits multiple criteria, so these 424 customers are technically, depending on whether you class average spend as a good metric, but if average spend is something you actually look at, these group of customers are better to you than the customers who've just spent more than £100. So the 424 customers are worth a better promotion. They're worth more money spent to actually get your message in front of, because they share multiple criteria. You can layer things, you can layer more and more on top of each other. Obviously, you don't have to do over 10 years, you don't have to do £100, you don't have to do £20. It's whatever suits your business. We have some customers who would have average spend of over £1,000. We've got some customers who would say anyone who spent more than £10,000 in store. It really depends on what type of business you are, and also how your customers interact with you, as well as how good your customer database is. So this one was the middle video. This video basically we were showing you how you can start going about layering things, layering criteria on top of each other to really identify who your best customers are. If you want to see more basic stuff, go back to the first video, which is just our basic version. Or if you want the more advanced stuff, we're going to do one more video on best customers, where we're going to take you really deep into how you can layer multiple things on top of each other to come out with the very best customers and the most specific groups of customers where you're going to get the best results when you target them. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.